Social media is that work right now that a lot of people have been avoiding that they need to do.
Hey Tristan, welcome back.
This month, let's make it super easy. We started doing what we're doing.
I think the biggest challenge we're finding is people have a mindset issue when it comes to really sitting down and saying, well, I can actually do this, because they look at your finished products, they look at Jeff's products on social, and they're like, well, man, they're so far advanced. Like, how do I even get there? If you were going to start all over, where would you be able to then incrementally grow to where you're at? How does that look?
Well, I think everyone has pretty much had to start over when short form video became the norm, because it doesn't really matter how fancy of equipment you have, whatever. Everyone's kind of on the level playing field for the most part with doing stuff on their phone, and the ones that use it the most or the best at techniques with editing skills and things like that can get the stuff put together. Some of the stuff is not expected to be as professionally, shot or produced or whatever. You can do a lot of that stuff with some really cool apps and have that finished product look very close to that and get it out there quickly. That's huge. I think it's just a matter of just staying current with what's going on. And the cool thing about it is for us is like, I've run a very, large team. We got a medium-sized team. We have eight members total. 3 of them are staff, but we do high volume. So we do have a good bit of marketing that we do, but we're getting mileage out of not having to, spend money to promote some of these, self-promotional type things. We can just put these out there in different platforms, and those things take off like wildfire. And then because of that, when we are advertising a listing or things like that, and we still have advertising budgets, of course, for all that, it already has that credibility or the analytics to help push that a little bit further. So I think we're able to kind of leveraging the fun stuff to throw out a little bit of extra stuff. The jab, right hook, Gary Vee approach stuff. You got to give a bunch of stuff away. And sometimes just a smile to somebody. Times are stressful. People have a lot going on. A lot of people just want to sit there and scroll and smile for a minute, or just, kind of use that as they're sitting around the TV. So, I kind of think about it as, if we can do something, make them laugh a little bit or be a little bit goofy, or at least just wonder, hey, what was that? That's kind of bizarre. Or, you know what, that's interesting. I'd like to know more about that. And then when the real estate conversations come up, they already know what you do. You just kind of have to be more subtle with it. And I think that's a very solid approach, but I still have to remind myself, and this is the hard part for me, is I do have to do more real estate content. And I have to do it in ways that doesn't bore me. And that's hard to know that it's there. But then I revert back to, what do people want to know? They want to know certain answers to things at different times. So we're answering those questions that we get asked anyway. I'm just trying to get better about pulling the camera out and at least recording it as I'm answering the question, which I can then turn around and just post it. Now someone else could benefit from that. It might only be 2 people, but those 2 people that benefited from might be your next customers you need, right? So, and Jeff and I were talking about this, and he thankfully was able to use me as kind of the guinea pig when we did the class in our office. I posted something and it didn't get the same attraction. I posted something completely random and different that got a ton of attraction. And, it was kind of bizarre that this didn't take off better. And to kind of, use that as a legitimate example. It was kind of good to hear the perspective. It's like, that didn't come across so well, but you still got several hundred views out of it. And, the real point, the takeaway from that is those several hundred are my people. Like, they consumed that and loved it and watched all of it. And as long as I'm entertaining that small group of what's going on, that's good and important. So the lesser performing videos that had the right kind of messaging in there, or entertainment, or whatever it is you're trying to do to stay in front of your people, is what you got to keep doing consistently. And then the anomalies, when you have one go viral or get, a lot of views, that's just kind of cool. Maybe, and we're talking about this too, is looking at those analytics to realize, what should I make more content about? What does the audience really want to see? And do you have the ability to make more content about that topic, or do you want to just learn about that topic and then post your learnings about it as you go? So all interesting, relevant stuff. But the one thing that I try to do as much as anything is I have a goal. I don't have to be everyone's, realtor in my market, but I want everyone in my market to know that I sell real estate. And they do, because of just repetition doing this. I mean, I've hired James, our video content creator. We've been working together for 8 years, getting together 1 day a month, shooting local business content, or local commercials on local businesses about them. And we soft brand it and put it out there over and over and over, or whatever event they got coming up or whatever their community happenings are going on. we share that, and it's almost like it's a section of the news or media or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of these same companies, they've never had any idea about anything like that for them. They might even advertise. They just have a very solid business. They're good at what they do. And these are companies that are my competitors. I said we're all competitors and we're all friends in the real estate business. We come from a place of abundance. But if their parents run a dry cleaning service and they're one of the agents I go up against listings with, I'm still going to promote that dry cleaning service because they do a good job, right? And that's where I take my stuff, and I don't want to endorse somebody I don't know anything about, and unless it's something new that we're saying, hey, this is a new business. If you want to try them out, you're welcome to. This is what they do. We do some of that because you cycle through so many in a smaller town, but it's really cool how you can just constantly stay in front of people, but it's that consistency of doing that. And there's a lot of times you do it one day a month, all day long. It's an exhausting day. There's been several times that you just don't feel like it. You got to do it. And I read a comment earlier, someone said, I want to do this video strategy. I'm paraphrasing it, but said, I don't know if I want to do the work. And at the end of the day, it is work. There's a lot of people that don't like cold calls. And there's some people that don't mind it at all. But we have to do some calls sometimes to call back our people. Maybe not the cold calls, but you got to follow up call with people sometimes, right? I don't care what it is that you do, there are going to be some aspects of it that's work, but it's got to be done to get you through the closing table, to get more deals, more clients. Social media is that work right now that a lot of people have been avoiding, but they need to do. For some people, it's like going to the gym. If you're not committed to going to the gym, you got to make that commitment. And I've been thinking about this a lot, and that's one of the main reasons I decided to partner with Social Genius this year to figure out some things that I want to do better. Is I'm finally going to get serious about video. I have played around with video, even though we've done it every month. I'm about to get serious with video and really incorporate it a lot more intentionally. I record a lot, especially stuff with my kids, family, things I'm already doing, but I'm very poor about telling the whole story or getting to a point where I've got a usable piece of content. I was joking around, so I could probably die and somebody get my phone and have 6 years worth of content in my phone that I recorded, unique stuff that's just trips I go on or whatever it is we're doing. Fishing in Florida, fishing tournament with my kids, cheerleading competitions, whatever's there. But you have to have that right context to tell a story through there. And that's the part that I'm getting better about. And some of them, I just got to do a little, little video, saying a few words or putting a few words on a screen, telling the audience what's going on. And that's the part that I'm becoming much more intentional about. And that's what I'm excited about for 2023.
And there's two things I want to mention, Rett. First of all, I love that how you articulated that, your freeze-dried steak content, which was just a random in the moment thing, is viral. But ultimately, when you go back to the real estate content, this is the way it works for all of us. Your business content, by and large, will be duds because no one's going to social for business content. That's spammy content. That's just the reality. The reason why you do the freeze-dried steak and the random authentic stuff is because that's where you get the mass eyeballs to potentially create more followers who then become, out of that pocket, raving fans who are the 100, 200, 300 views who actually watch the stuff that you want them to see. Very few of us, if any of us, are going to be massively viral because we're real estate agents or real estate professionals, mortgage professionals, whatever. But that's the game. And Rhett's figuring this out. And we talked about this the other day because we kind of just had our little mastermind session. I'm like, dude, you need to do more fishing. You need to do more of the cooking because your audience is telling you that's what they want.